Hello, people of Earth. An impromptu stream to discuss and watch. It's currently on Amazon Prime, free for the first time for a long while. It used to be really hard to get on DVD, and it's Vampire's Kiss. What do you get with an actor who is willing to risk it all and put his influences on his sleeve? I can't explain it as well as they explain it in the brilliant In Praise of Shadows video, which I've put in the description. Such a good explanation. It's called In Defense of Nicolas Cage. Talks about the influence of Max Schreck on this and the acting style. Some amazing stories that have come out of this, out of the making of this film. I love it. Yes, it is hilarious. That doesn't make it a bad film. That's my main argument. Thank you so much if you are watching along, if you've just joined us. Um, Let's see. Oh, we've got Fran Sanchez with us, the learned Fran Sanchez, who's already said he's ready for his hey, pieces. Oh, excellent. It is. It is. It's just such a great, fun film. A great way to spend a Sunday, I would say. Sunday afternoon movies the way they should be. Yeah, Jennifer Beals, of course. Yeah. Yes, yeah. Isn't it mad how you can get so many cool German things, particular things like that, media book. I'm just going to move my camera position because I just noticed that I'm in the way of the words. Not that might be a selling point, but I will just edit my position. I can't cover up Nicholas's beautiful face doing his classic Shrekian picture there. So that's really cool. And Chris loves comics. Great to see you, my friend. Good to see you this Sunday. As Franz says, very dark comedy. Don't think many people get this. I don't think. Yeah, I don't. I don't think. I think. Yeah, I think that sometimes people just think that Nicolas Cage isn't aware of what he's doing or has no control over what he's doing or something. But like, the guy's amazing. Hey, Shamalos, how are you? Thank you for all your support recently. It's great to see you, and it's good that you're doing good as well. That's awesome. And we're going to be doing it even better. So, I believe Prime is worldwide. So, if you guys have got Amazon Prime and you type Vampire's Kiss in, you will find it. This is from 1988. It is an hour and 44 minutes long on my version. IMDb, I think, reflects very much what Franz was just saying, which is people are not sure how to take this film. So it's a 6.1. And what else have we got? It's directed by Robert Bierman. It's again, people not sure how to classify it. Comedy, horror, fantasy. I'm not sure. I guess it would come under the horror side of it. It's how much of this is real, how much of this is in his mind, how much. Oh man, it's so much fun. Content advisory: there is smoking in this film. That comes up on the list above nudity, violence, and other things. So, yeah, let's get going on this. Let's have a good old. A good look. 1 minute. Oh, so 1 hour 43 on the Blu-ray. That's interesting. That'll probably just be the different logos and stuff at the beginning. I'd imagine that's something I've noticed a little bit. My dog's just decided to go absolutely crazy. She knows there's vampires around. They're bees vampires. So let's count down and press play all at the same time and watch this amazing film. And I do love it. I'm not like ashamed to love this film. And hopefully when people watch this, they won't be ashamed to get on board. I know Franz said he loves it. I love it. There's two people. So, what more do you need? Okay, guys, when you see play, press play. Play. Okay, so let's test my theory. What I was saying. So straight away, I've got an advert for 30 seconds. How amazing! I am not paying for ad-free Amazon Prime. I'm gonna have to sit and watch this fairy liquid advert. Got 13 seconds of this very liquid advert, so I'm going to skip forward 13 seconds, and I'll be in sync with all of you who press play on your physical media. Oh man, I wish I still had this in physical media. That was a mistake getting rid of this film. That was a mistake. Okay, so I'm going to skip forward 30 seconds, and I've got the John Daly, Derek Gibson present from Hemdale Film, and Magellan Pictures production. All people I've not heard of. And it says rated 18 at the top. And we are in the city, New York City, I'd imagine. Nicolas Cage in Vampire's Kiss. So that's where I am at the moment. Mary Conchita Alonso is coming up. I'm 39 seconds in. Yeah, I wish I'd have kept this as well, Franz. That was a mistake. That was a borderline one, and I was like, I'll just get it again, and then it's really hard to get hold of. Another one is JCVD, which I'm finding quite hard to get hold of again. A German one I could probably get. So here we go. Shadows of the City at the beginning. Let's see if there's any trivia on this. There seems to be a lot of trivia on this. So Peter Lowe character eats a cockroach later. A lot of this trivia is going to be spoilerific. So if you haven't seen the film, stop listening to me, go and watch the film, and then come back and watch this with me later. But you have to promise. Peter Lowe character eats a cockroach in this movie, something which in Bram Stoker's Dracula lore is often the domain of Renfield. Interesting point. Also, we got one of 4 vampire movies made by the Coppola family. Vampire's Kiss stars Nicolas Cage Coppola, obviously, and features Mark Coppola. Dracula's Widow, 1988, was co-written by Christopher Coppola and co-stars Mark Coppola. And obviously, Francis Ford Coppola produced and directed Bram Stoker's Dracula, with Anton Coppola conducting and Roman Coppola as second unit director. Obviously, Nicolas Cage would go on to play Dracula in Renfield in 2023. So yeah, that's a keep it in the family, guys. Yeah, that was a lot of Coppolas. Paul Mary Conchita Alonso in this. Yeah, man, she has a tough time. Continuity issues. The blood patterns on Peter's shirt vary after he kills the girl in the nightclub. This was featured on How Did This Get Made? It's a funny episode. I like How Did This Get Made. Sometimes they choose really good films. They only just got around to. What did they only just get around to? It was on How Did This Get Made recently, and I thought, really, you weren't aware of this? Samurai Cop. They weren't aware of Samurai Cop. They were like blown away by it. That's like that's day one stuff with with B movies, I think. Miami Connection. Samurai Cop, The Room. Like, come on. Kindergarten Ninja. Now that's a deep cut. Let's see. So the coffin, the upturned sofa in this leather sofa is kind of represented as a coffin. This is mainly set in the Bronx. However, when he goes to Alva's house, it's in a quiet side street. Let's see. Yeah. Hey Nate, good to see you, my friend. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. I need to give Franz a wrench as well once I know how to do it while staying on StreamYard at the same time. But his accent changed, but it's deliberate. He's playing a yuppie. He's trying. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's so many criticisms of the film that are not really justified because, like, they're almost like, oh, you know, they did this. This is a mistake or a flub or a problem. But actually, they're, like you said, they're all choices. They're all actual deliberate choices. Sometimes he was making choices and kind of really taking control of what was going on the set more than the director. So if you listen to interviews with the director, especially like the insect eating part, is quite interesting. I'm a vampire. Yeah. Let's have a look. More theatrical film, feature film debut of director Robert Bierman. New York locations, if you're interested in New York locations. I don't know any of them. I've maybe heard of the Apple Court Theatre. Both movies that actor Mark Coppola appeared in 1988 were vampire films, which we just discussed earlier on. Both sex scenes between Rachel and Peter, they're wearing exactly the same clothes, underwear, indicating they were filmed back to back. There's a William Wordsworth quote in this. We walked along while bright and red, up rose the morning sun. We walked along. I can't do it. I can't do that. Hey, Biz, hey. 2018, he stated that this is his favourite movie he ever made, Nicolas Cage. Pronouns. Tom Hollander was considered for Peter Lowe. Oh, wow. See, I didn't realise Tom Hollander was even like a known actor at this point, but it could be that the director's British. Maybe he'd seen him on stage. He would have been good. Tom Hollander's a really good actor. Yeah, there's a scene with blanks, but that would still have done damage. So yeah, don't shoot yourself with blanks. There's a little warning for everyone. Judd Nelson was considered for it. Smoke Up Johnny. Don't know about that one. Close up of Jennifer Beals' fangs. That the width of the bite marks changes after she bites. There's a real cockroach eating scene. It took 3 takes. And Nicolas Cage, however, people said he was so into it and really wanted to do it. He did. He was quoted as saying every muscle in his body didn't want to do it, but he did it anyway, which I think kind of sums up his approach to acting sometimes, which is, yeah, he goes the extra yards. Flesh-coloured pads covering nipples are clearly visible, so keep an eye out for that one. Eating the bug is an homage to Renfield. Now, this is getting ridiculous. Sylvester Stallone was considered for the role of Peter. You got to keep moving forward. Oh, here we go. We're straight into the action, so to speak. Straight out of the nightclub. Oh, bat comes in. An effing bat. An effing bat. Yeah, everybody will know that the meme picture of his face as above there is taken when he's telling Alva that she's the lowest employee on the totem pole. Like Franz said earlier on, it's quite mean. Poor woman. Humming to himself, he's humming Stravinsky later on. Some scenes were removed from this film. Multiple cuts of the film suggested. Cage says some of the lost scenes are some of his best work. And this doesn't surprise me. Christian Bale used this as inspiration for his portrayal of Patrick Bateman, American Psycho. His strange accent, to go into that more detail that Franz said earlier on, because he thinks he sounds more elegant and smarter, hence the literary agent job. The accent comes and goes throughout the movie and is more prominent when trying to impress people and less in scenes where he's being himself with like the psychiatrist. So yeah, that would make sense. The pigeon was actually drugged later on that we see so he can catch it. He wasn't told that. It's a non-union production. Lots of union people try to break up the production by honking their horns and causing problems. I remember reading that. Not just now, but earlier. So Jennifer Beals plays the Bride of Frankenstein and a vampire back-to-back. And the furniture destroyed in the apartment after he gets dumped by Kazi Lemons is all real. And the scene could only be done in 1 take because everything was smashed up. 2 cameras were on set to catch everything. And he couldn't believe, in retrospect, that he let Nicolas Cage do this. Again, more ridiculous trivia. Arnold Schwarzenegger and John Travolta being considered for the role. And again, just to go back to the last piece of trivia I've got here, he showed it. Nicolas Cage showed it to a female friend in 2018, and he said, "I think it scared her. She left." He said, laughing. Yeah, he's really proud of this movie, so he should be. So here we are. Let's get right into the film now. We're about 10 minutes in. Obviously, we feel something may have happened to him, and he's in the office, condescendingly talking to his assistant. Let's catch up where we're up to. Commentary track on the Blu-ray. The director, I'm going to have... Yes. Yeah. I've heard clips. I've heard some of the best of clips of it, but I need to listen to the whole thing. 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, Nate. Perfect. Love it. Yeah, I don't think so too. I don't think Judd Nelson. I don't mind Judd Nelson. And yes, yeah, it's just not a film for Sly. This one really. Want to see some people want to go and see Sly perform amazingly well. Of course, he's had lots of great acting roles, but I always go to Copland for like a tour de force, holding his own against some amazing actors. Oh, somebody just said that. Yeah, Copland. Yeah. A film like this would be made to do. I would argue it's a film about what happens with toxic masculinity. Yes. Yeah, it's like if you're watching this, it's like I guess like American Psycho in the sense if you're watching it and going, yeah, I like that guy, I want to be just like that guy. You've already got deep-seated problems, haven't you? Yeah, we need to be able to see those people to be able to comment on them and understand them and try and unpick. And it's interesting to see lots of different types of people and understand what makes them tick. They don't have to be people that we like or want to be like. So yeah, I get you. I'm with you, brother. Hey, Bud Files, good to see you. Oh, cool. You're gonna So I'm 11 minutes, 17, 18, 19, 20 seconds into my version on Prime, which it goes up to 1 hour. I think it was 1 hour 34, something like that. I think I said earlier. Oh no, 1 hour 40 something. Let's see. The music is so classic as well. It's very classic vampire, and with it being a modern setting, and the elements of some of the things that happen could be just circumstance or interpreted as just, I guess, what's going on in his head. It makes it quite interesting that some of it's framed through classic horror tropes and classic horror behaviors, but we're not 100% sure that we're in a horror, if that makes sense. And here he is with his psychiatrist. The Dr. Melfi of her day. Oh, cool, Liv. You always have the best taste. You really do. That's so nice of you to comment, especially when you're out as well. That's so cool. I'm sure hopefully other people catch this up as we go along and maybe watch it later on this evening. It's a late night movie for sure as well. It's a cool movie to have as an afternoon movie, but I decided I didn't want to watch the football. I want to watch the movie and chat with people about it. So yeah, it's one of my favorite films as well, and I wish I hadn't have got rid of my copy of it. And when I saw it come up on Prime, I was like, "Why did you do that? You fool! You fool, Matthew!" Yeah, Dragnet. Yeah, Dragnet's one of those films people don't really talk about it very much. Two massive stars, but it's funny to think that, like, in a way, Hanks is the second banana, really, isn't he? I don't know if this really happened or I dreamt it. I mean, I'm fighting this bat. The guy, I've never seen the series, but I've seen a clip on a chat show or something. The guy from Bazinga, what's that thing? Big Bang Theory. One of the guys in there does an incredible impression of Cage from Vampire's Kiss. He's like, "Hey, baby. I was in Mortal Kombat. What a fucking bat!" when you have that accent and you say "fucking," it just has a different sound to it. Yeah, true. Yeah, do you know I'm a big fan of the Adam Buxton podcast, and Tom Hanks was on there being interviewed for his book, and all he wanted to talk about was his book. And I get that. Like, I interview people, and sometimes they obviously just want to talk about the thing that they want to sell. I always try and get something out of them. Adam Buxton was trying to like be pals with him and and Adam Buxton's such a cool interview and such a good person, and his podcast really isn't about selling stuff. But I think he took that because it was Tom Hanks, and it was just really awkward, and he just wasn't. He just had his set things that he wanted to say, and I was like kind of disappointed in that because, like, for example, Paul McCartney didn't do that with him. He went down that route and had fun with him. Elva, I told you. And the thing about him here is as well, like, she's so nice, like, she's so patient. It just makes him more of a dick. I think it heightens the comedy, though, doesn't it? He just shouts at us, sends her off with a flea in her ear. It's a strange looking. I mean, his literary agent. I don't know the ins and outs of what literary agents do, but it's a massive, massive office that he. And here he is making himself look. I mean, he was a good-looking guy, but I mean, I don't know, good-looking, but certainly he got a confidence to and charisma where you could imagine him, you know, being a hit with the ladies. Did anyone see the one he did with Pedro Pascal, where he plays himself in the film? Some of that I thought was quite fun. But it was, yeah, it had some good parts, but yeah, can't hold a candle to this. Yeah, I even think that Adam Buxton said he was being interviewed recently. He said he regretted taking it because he knew it was like plugging something, and it's not really how he does it. It's more of a ramble chat, as he said. I absolutely love Adam Buxton's podcast. I've always loved Adam and Joe and things like that. But I would say one of the episodes he did was with Natasha Dimitriou from Staff Let's Flats and Things We Do in the Shadows, and it's a beautiful interview. It really is a beautiful interview. And the last one, I think he did. There's one on Louis Theroux's podcast with Adam Buxton, which is incredible as well. I was nearing the end of my time with. No, that wasn't very good, Louis Theroux. That was more a cross between Louis Theroux and Nicolas Cage. I remember reading a 1-star review and said that Cage looks like Jonathan Ross. Yeah, the hair, definitely the hair in the suit is like around the time of when Jonathan Ross had his chat show on Channel 4, and that would tie in. Yeah, I think he does kind of look a bit like Jonathan Ross in that. Good call. Yeah, doesn't look anything like Paul Ross. So here we are. He's in bed again. Obviously, like I said earlier on, these were filmed back to back. Back to back. Little Drake reference there for those of you following who've tuned into this to find out about the beef between Drake and what's his name now? My mind's gone blank. I've been listening to it. It's been fun. Anyway, back to the film. Back to the good parts. I'll play by Jim Carrey. I believe there's an element of that, isn't there? There is an element of that. Oh wow! I've always wanted to see him live. I love all that. I love the stuff that he does. I've watched some online edits of Bug. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of his, and the book as well. Ramble book. The audio book's great. Really, really good. Only a few audiobooks I'll listen to, like Partridge, Garth Marenghi, Adam Buxton, one Louis Theroux's, because I know they're going to be entertaining, I know they're going to be fun, and I know they're going to be enhanced by hearing it in their voice. Oh, so he's been bitten. We have a biting, and it is 18 minutes, or have we? In 18 minutes, 15 seconds. Now he's having a shave. That was quick. You can see Bateman in this, can't you? You can see Christian Bale watching this and studying it. I guess there's a certain type of person who sort of who has those business cards that works in New York, and like that sort of sophistication. There he is, singing his classical music that I referenced earlier on. What a glorious Sunday! It's just like he's bouncing. If you don't like it, he goes all posh then. If you don't like it, I'll send out. Who are you talking to? Oh, it's shaking, it's shaking, it's shaking. There's no one there. Nobody in the bed. And here we are, back in the old Ferris Bueller style art gallery. I don't know what art, but I know what I like. His hair is cool in this. His hair is definitely a feature of this. Subtitles. Just checking I've got subtitles on, and I have. Yeah, they're sporadically working. I think so. I think so. I always kind of equate American Psycho with when I read it, which is in the sort of late 90s. So, but I don't know actually. Do you know what? I think I would say no, because I think like he did Less Than Zero in around this time. But I don't know. I could be wrong, Franz. I need to check that one out. But because I know there's all references to Huey Lewis and all that kind of stuff, and Whitney Houston and what have you. But I don't think that that's when it came out. I could be totally wrong. We're all guilty of thinking that like classic. Well, it's not really a classic book, is it? But famous books are were of our time because that's when we read it. Like Catcher in the Rye or something. Like I'm not the same age as J.D. Salinger. I'm not 100% sure. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So he's getting a phone call now or a message. He's just left his girl, and she's effing and jeffing at him down the phone. But he's kind of just reclining in his coffin, wondering what the hell's going on. By coffin, I mean leather sofa. The key to sister. The line deliveries, every line delivery feels like it could be a quote, a meme, a memorable line. The American Psycho film, I would say, is one of the rare occasions where the film is better than the book, and I'm saying that with a degree of distance between when I read the book and as a young man, as a young edgelord. um, and I think the film still stands up. I think it's much better. I think the things they leave out, it benefits for the things they leave out. I think, I think it's a much better film. It benefits from having that female combination of director and writer as well, and a great central performance. Be a good one to kind of watch back to back with this. I guess I was pretty keyed up, pretty horny. Actually, when I'm doing that, then I felt like I was doing an impression of Donald Trump. Very bad. He has these moments where he drawls. He never ums and ers. If you notice, he's very much like I do, like an actor's actor, like a stage actor. So when he's thinking, he drawls it out, and when he's got clarity, he says it quite quickly. So he's like, "I guess I was," and then he goes into the thing he's saying. And again, that's having confidence that people are going to stay with you for the length of that sentence. But that's a power thing as well. So, like, if you drag your sentences on and look off into the distance when you're talking, you're saying to someone, "You're going to stay with me for this full sentence. You're not going to interrupt me because I'm really important, and you need to listen to me." If you don't have that confidence in yourself, you're trying to get it out as quick as possible before somebody butts in and interrupts you. And here he is berating Alva again. Alva. It's fucking Tuesday. And I think they make it so good because they have her in these very like old-fashioned floral dresses. She looks like the girl next door, very like not like feminine and gentle, rather than like she's not like a vamp or anything, no pun intended. So you feel like, oh man, you stop being so mean to her. She's not done anything. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people who are familiar with pictures and gifs, but possibly not seen the whole film. And oh, it's that shit. It's that shit, Nicholas. It's that shit. It's that shit Nicholas Cage film. Maybe it suffers from that a little bit. Like I said, there's an incredible. I think it's 3 hours called "In Defense of Nicholas Cage" that I've put in the description. it has even if you just watch the section on Vampire's Kiss, it's worth watching for people who are willing to kind of give it a chance. All I'm saying is give Cage a chance. Isn't that what John Lennon said? After all, he was the walrus. Mr. Heatherson is boiling wet. This is one of those literary agencies where it's life or death, apparently. My conversations with sending scripts and stuff to people is that they just do everything in their own time. It's not like, I guess if somebody's got a book and they want to release it, or it has to be released on a certain date, there's that pressure on that side. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on in this, really. There's a massive fax machine in the corner. It is night. We are at a diner, the Munson Diner. Who's here for 15 minutes? It's all hands. Do I get waited on today or not? Fucking Grease Hill. And he stomps out. You're so entitled, Peter. Oh, he's next hitting. Oh, nice guy down the street there helping him out. I love it that these two people are just dancing on the street, miming, spitting, and slapping each other. That's kind of interesting. Yes. Yeah. I think definitely you can see why the studio would around the time of things like Basketball Diaries and What's Eating Gilbert Grape and all that kind of stuff. They were like, oh, this will be a good move for DiCaprio. Even was it pre or post Titanic? I don't know, but like when he was doing edgy teen roles, and Basketball Diaries is a hell of a good film. He's brilliant in that. But yeah, it's great that Christian Bale. I can understand why they didn't really want to go with Christian Bale either. It's not like he was a massive name at the time. He was more famous as a kid. It works out well in the end, I think. Very rare that you have phone call scenes in a film where you hear their voice coming through the other end of the line like that. We're in on both ends of the conversation. We hear what she hears and what she says very clearly. Actually, it's strange that we don't. It's not like yeah. I'll see you there. Like it's not none of that. Or like you don't say. You don't say. Who was it? They didn't say. Good morning to you, bud. Yeah. Shaft is a forgotten one, isn't it? Shut your mouth. Yeah, Shaft is one that kind of allowed him to show a different side to his, or a different layer to his, a darkness maybe to his performances that American Psycho did. That possibly, yeah, like you say, led to Batman. I can see that. Nicolas Cage as Batman. That's what we're talking about, not Superman, but he can do it all. This guy. It's looking smooth though. Got the hair slicked back. He's just checking his marks in his neck. Nope, decided against it. He's been pierced not with a spike though. So we're about half an hour in. Some big things have happened in Peter's life, but this is where things start getting more detached from reality, weirder. I think I could listen to him speak like this ever-changing accents and all day. I wonder if they'll ever release all these extra bits, because if he said it's the greatest thing he's ever done, it was so good, wouldn't it? Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was really excited for Superman, especially because I was a massive Kevin Smith fan, and he was writing the script and talking about it a lot and being quite open about it. And then when I saw the stage Q&As that Kevin Smith did talking about them, obviously, if it was going to have had to have the giant spider in it from Wild Wild West, I was maybe not as disappointed. I'd have been a bit more disappointed, but yeah, and it's such a disappointing thing to just kind of see that janky Nicolas Cage Superman in the recent Flash film. And such the whole thing was just a big mess. And it's a shame because there's a couple of decent moments in it, but like we're getting Michael Keaton as Batman in there, we're getting as CGI Nicolas Cage like as Superman. So just wasting, just throwing those things away. Oh my word, makes me sad thinking about that. Because I actually think there's an opportunity there when the guy who plays the Flash, whose name escapes me, was having issues. They could have replaced him with Grant Gustin and made an incredible film, because the Flash TV series, at least for the first 2 or 3 series, is really good. And then that with a big budget and Michael Keaton and a real Nicolas Cage, that's money, in my opinion. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're at peak Tim Burton. I also think there's a missed opportunity for Tim Hortons to do a sort of a thing with Tim Burton and have like Tim Burton's just for a film when it comes out. And it's all kind of like black and gothic just for a weekend or for a film. I mean, like I think all those tie-ins for the Flintstones that they did, like McDonald's, like Rock Nuggets and stuff. Tim Burton's and Tim Hortons would have been, money. Yeah, yeah, he could have done the Dark Knight Returns style. Yeah, that's true. The thing is with that as well, I always wanted that to be a real life Kevin Conroy film. I think I think that it would have been incredible to see Kevin Conroy play The Dark Knight Returns. The 2 animated films of Dark Knight Returns, um, the Frank Miller ones, which are almost comic book accurate. I think they're pretty cool. But yeah. Oh, here we go. Back in bed again. He's looking a bit more worn out than last time. Just look at his handwriting. If any of you guys are watching along, you can look at his handwriting. Look at the sort of how wiggledy-piggledy his handwriting is. And he's shouting for Alva now. This is Alva. Alvin. 32 minutes, 53 seconds in. This is where he's going to explode. He did, didn't he? Yeah. Well, if anyone's seen RoboDoc, there's interesting insight into Peter Weller's approach to RoboCop. It wouldn't have been the same without him, but also he didn't make it easy. Oh, there we go. There you are. He's very stage walking the way he walks across the office. He's chasing Alva down the thing. The size of that computer. Here he goes. She's running away. He's chasing her. She's going into the ladies. And in he goes. I'm looking for it, Mr. Lowe. I'm looking for it. I love how this lady is washing her hands and Alva's going, I've got a gun. And we're just kind of cracking on. I'm doing all I can. Maybe the contract was like he's literally berating her in the ladies' toilets. Oh, yeah, Rick Mayall, good call for this. He's definitely got the floppy hair. He'd have had the floppy hair for it as well. Yeah, and he's got the believable lack of a conscience to behave in certain ways, like puckishness as well. So, like, you don't completely hate him. So she's going through every file now, Alva. I love that the woman was just like washing her hands. Alva's like having to say, I've got a gun to protect herself. And the woman's just like, these two just don't come in the ladies' toilets. But, this woman needs a gun to protect herself. So this scene where they're in the boardroom, it reminds me very much of the scene where they're comparing the business cards in American Psycho. 1 second, my dog is asking. Yes. Hello. Right. We got a visitor. So see if the stream goes up or down. Now, see if there's more people join while you're on. Then what we'll do is we will keep you on more often. Okay. Just a short-term contract at the moment. The horror dog. So they're telling jokes and stuff, and like he's being so sycophantic, and he's laughing like like laughing at the jokes. Like nobody finds a joke that funny. Yeah, there's the way they dress, the way they certainly the boardroom meeting is one that stands out for me. She's got that hair that's been like combed and combed and combed. Stay out of my life. Is that from Alpha? Here she is, though. Marcy the horror dog. She'll be wanting to leave in a minute. I've got to say though, I don't mind this style of clothing around this time. I quite like this. Like I remember, obviously I'm a little bit younger, but I do when I started wearing suits to work and stuff, mainly out of choice. Do you feel like hot shit? You do feel pretty cool when you're wearing a nice suit. I quite like the wideness of these things and the stripes and stuff. Things are a little bit more bland now. Oh, and this is the scene where he's kicking the absolute hell out of the apartment. She knew he was going to be there. Again, like I said, the 2 cameras on him so they don't miss any of it, but we can't redo this. Yeah, grimy New York. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I can only go off what I see in films. I know that I remember watching NYPD Blue, and that kind of I was really into that, and I remember the idea behind it being that it was paralleling the time when Giuliani cleared a lot of the stuff up. So like a lot of those like porno theaters and things like that, and stuff going on mainly in touristy places was cleaned up. So like where you used to go and watch things like Basket Case, you just wouldn't have the opportunity to do that anymore, which is quite sad, but equally. I don't know. But the movie New York always seems to be grimy, doesn't it? Wow, what a great shot that was. The blurred side of his face in the mirror, her fangs, his hair. When his hair flops down, that's the thing about slicking your hair back like that in a character. Once they lose the plot and they're not in control, it's a really visual metaphor. The hair just flops, and instantly they don't look as smart, and they look a little bit disheveled. It's a good kind of. It's the reason why footballers wear those little Alice bands, you know. Contract we're trying to locate. Right. I bet it is. Do you remember in the 80s or when they used to have those guys in the red jackets to protect people on the subway? That's always a sign that, going on the service place, what they call guardian angels or something.
Every single contract it makes with the client, and then puts it in a file, an appropriate file.
All these files now would be in the cloud, and then just lost a different way.
Be in that file. Yes, I suppose it should. It should. Right?
He's just trying to justify his treatment of Alva to his psychiatrist.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yep, okay, I agree. You've."
Unless, of course, it's somehow been misfiled. But misfiled.
The idea of misfiling something is just impossible to understand for Peter. It makes it hard to find things, Peter, if you misfile them. He's like, no. Here it comes, guys. We are on 39 minutes 35, and listen to it. It's a filing speech. Just enjoy. Just take this in. Put it in the right file. Alphabetical order. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, S, T, U, V. That's all you have to do. Very good. You know your alphabet. I love that. What I love is the framing of the city behind him, the cityscape. It's like he's King Kong. This is one of the greatest scenes in the history of film. Don't, as the kids probably don't say, don't at me. You call yourself a psychiatrist. You even know your alphabet, man. It's his version of like, do you even lift, bro? Is like, do you know your alphabet, bro? It's the best. It's the best. Oh man, yeah. You could see Rick Mayall doing it. He could pull that off. He's maybe one of the few that could. Brando could. A young Brando. Oh yeah. Wow. Is the documentary? I couldn't bring myself to watch it with Edward Edmondson and Rick Mayall. Talking about Rick Mayall recently. Yeah, it is like King Kong, isn't it? Well, kinda. Yeah. Oh, thank you. And also, Alva's like Fay Ray, like the little woman he just carries to the top. The idea that this would all go unchecked, this behavior, this insanity, the shouting about having to have a gun, the running into the toilets after, the climbing across the tables, chasing her across the room. Can you imagine these days? Well, any day, really. Yeah, that's so wild. He's got the big sunglasses on. So he's blaming it on his medication.
I did it once. Did you? Yeah, just once in high school.
He turns around there. I mean, these sunglasses, wow.
So, where do you have your cover?
Yeah. Sometimes find it hard to watch things that I know are going to hit me emotionally. And that's probably why I end up watching the sort of rubbish that I usually watch. Fun, cool rubbish. These sunglasses, man. It's like a different. When he turns around and the music swells, it's almost like he's a different character. Well, I guess that's what he's trying to say to her, isn't he? He's like, oh, this mescaline's had a reaction. I've had a reaction to it. I can't believe it's maybe behaved that way.
Another secretary to help me out. I'm here to make the job easier.
So Alva wants some support.
There is no one else in this entire office that I could possibly ask.
There is no one else in this entire office I could possibly ask to share such a horrible job. Literally saying you are the lowest of the low. You don't deserve anyone to help you. No one would help you because no one would lower themselves to your level to help or be even with you to support you. And this is where he does the eyes that you can see. That's right, Alva. Horrible, horrible job. And he switched again. Sunglasses are off. This is his Max Shrek. So this is his Max Shrek. So yes, when I did a screening of Nosferatu recently, there were people laughing at some of the facial expressions of Max Shrek. Does that make it any less of an effective horror film? No. Therefore, that's why this is funny, but also horror, but also amazing, and not. It's funny without being laughable. That's maybe how I'd describe it. Yeah, she's just like really feminine, isn't she? And like vulnerable, and yeah, bless her. Yeah, I think I may have heard the same one. It's tough losing friends, especially ones you spend like days and days or years and years and years beside, making each other laugh. I think making people laugh, having a connection through laughter, it creates really strong friendships. As the cross lights up, and it's making him feel a bit shit. So he's staggering across the road. It flies around at quite a pace, really. This doesn't it? Like we're 43 minutes in now, so we've got about maybe an hour left. He's gone back to his vampire lover. She's giving him a good old slap round the mush. He doesn't know what to do. He just hasn't got a clue what to do. She's definitely got, in American Psycho, talks about Whitney Houston a lot. It's the Whitney Houston of this hairstyle that she's got in this film. I think she's seducing him once more. It's not going to take a lot of seducing because he's very weak here. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I've certainly been in films where people have stood up applauding at the end of the film, and I just don't understand why. And sometimes they're just like applauding the idea of something, or even applauding at the beginning of a film before they've seen it. I've had that once or twice. And yeah, and then other times you're like, wasn't that amazing? And people are just like, what was you muttering and mumbling as they walk out? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Now there is a story about Jennifer Beals in the You Must Remember This podcast, which I really recommend, the Erotic 80s episodes. There is a part about Jennifer Beals. And here we have Nosferatu. He's watching Nosferatu on TV. There's Count Orlok. There's Count Orlok of Nosferatu and SpongeBob fame. I was going to be doing a SpongeBob stream tonight, but I'll be doing the SpongeBob movie stream on Friday now. So I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, SpongeBob, a massive link there to Nosferatu. So she seems to know. We don't know, that he's told her everything that he's done and the excuses he made for his behavior and all this stuff. So when she says, "Oh, I'm mescaline" and all that, there's a possibility she's like reading his mind or knows what he's doing. She's got a connection to him, like a psychic connection, because she's like sired him, I guess. And I don't know. It's just things like, "I knew you could keep our passion a secret." The white T-shirt is such an iconic, like, lead actor, movie star piece of clothing. From Marlon Brando to James Dean, obviously those two are linked there. Cage in this, that kind of Hanes beefy tee T-shirt is just a iconic look. Oh, and we're watching the end here. No spoilers from this film. Over 100 years old. As Orlok disappears, as the light comes up in our film. And Peter's film continues. Well, absolutely, love. I wonder if sometimes he just equates being well educated and posh means English accent. He's doing whoop, 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 whoop. I think the eyes, man, the eye acting in this, the stuff that he does is so unique that even now it comes across as big and unusual and shocking. And again, like I said, I'll refer to the in Praise of Shadows link that I've put in the description. Oh, here we go. We're insect eating time. It's insect eating time. Yep, here we go. Cockroach. Oh, crunchy. Yeah, 3 times, man. 3 times. Wanted to get it right. Look at the size of that computer / printer, and it has file things on it. He walks right past with his sunglasses on. They look like the kind of sunglasses that you wear after you've had eye surgery.
Judy, would you send Alvin in, please? Did she?
So Alva's not come to work today. Shock. She's got a very bad cold. Alva, quit. Right? Quit. She's got a bad cold. My. My boss is a bastard. So Alva's at home, feeling very run down, shock, and telling her mother how she feels. You catch a cold. That's the ultimate compliment. I don't think there's many people whose cold I would catch. I'm a bit of a germaphobe. But like, Jessica Rabbit walks in, I'm like, just get your germs over there, love. Get your little ass into the city. And she's just literally told her not to say the word bastard. What's worse, bastard or ass? Vote underneath. So he's going through a massive Rolodex here. I imagine trying to find where Alva lives. And there she lives. She lives in the Bronx. And we're going on a little trip. Think he's going to get a bunch of flowers, some chicken soup? In the words of Stone Cold Steve Austin. Taking a little yellow cab ride now from the train. It's amazing that he's going to all this effort to harass his worker. Yeah, the brother character, again, is like, he's a dude, isn't he? Yeah. We need this guy. In this scene, I think when she's doing the ironing here, got a little look of Salma Hayek. I'm here to call a truce, man. I took a $20 taxi ride. Wow, you're like super rich literary agent. Soup. Powdered soup. Cheapo powdered soup. And she, again, like, has this... She's kind of... Her kindness... his undeserved kindness that he gets from her. What's most important is your health. And it's his body language, the leaning over, subtle Nosferatu, Count Orlok vibes. Vibes. It's my fault. He's like fake upset, isn't he? It's a really weird cut there. It's like he was talking for ages. It just sort of, I just had like a complete cut of him halfway through his conversation, and then went straight back to him like it was picked up a bit later. I don't know if anybody else had that. Yeah. Do you know what? I think sometimes the reason they do that is you've got to make that choice between I can elongate my career a little bit by smoothing out some lines, or I can trust in that I'll still get work as a more character actress. I think that's really unfair. But then you are seeing it with some male actors as well now, aren't you? Where they just look a little bit squeaky and plasticky and a bit unusual, and they've gone a bit too far in one direction. Whether it's like removing eye bags and stuff like that, could end up looking like Simon Cowell. I mean, no offense to the guy, but like he's possibly gone a little bit too far on the cosmetic surgery. Who am I to say? Who am I to say? I don't look bad for 103, so all my cosmetic surgeries work. You're a very bad girl. By God. It's so obvious he's putting on a voice, and that's the way a lot of the humor comes, isn't it? And people think that is his choice for this film, is that he's really trying to do something like stick to one style, and he just can't. He's really underestimating how great an actor he is. And as soon as they're in the car, he's back again. He's still obsessed with the contract. The Cats movie, yeah. That's one of the few movies. I did have to go to the bathroom, but it was one of the few movies where I left before the end of it. I was just shaking my... I was just like... Because it was one of those when I had the card every month and I could watch any movie I wanted. So I was watching a couple of movies back to back. I think I watched a screening of Jaws and went straight in to watch Cats. I got halfway through and I was like, I feel really ill. Whether it's this ice cream sundae, too much dairy, or whether it's just a case of jellicle bollocks. And I was like, I'm out. And I walked out and I did not go back in. For me, that's huge. I can't remember ever doing that. I think as a kid, I went to see Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And for some reason, I was just like, this isn't what I signed up for. Like, I'm not happy with this film. And I was actually there with family friends. So I just walked out and stood in the car park and waited for them to the film to end. That's the only time in 40 plus years where I've ever left a movie before the end. And I've seen some dross. So yeah, this is where the brother, we hope, is going to help him. Your wife.
15 years keeps me going. There is work and there is love. Am I right? You're a married man?
He's looking rough in the back of this cab. The cabbie will be saying, you throw up in this cab, you're paying for it. Yeah. Don't see it, Gigli. I don't think I've seen Gigli all the way through. I don't mind either of those actors, so I think I could probably do it. Yeah. I get you. I get you. Emilio. Where is that little C-bomb? Again, this is played for humor. Like that line delivery. You're not telling me that's not supposed to be funny? Debating how to scare him off. I've watched out of maybe 4 movies, more than one Adam Sandler movie. Oh, which one? Was Little Nicky? I don't mind Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison. What's the one where he plays a woman and a man? That's My Boy. I didn't see that. I didn't want to see that. That looks like one would possibly be a tough watch. Yeah, it is. It's almost whimsical. Yeah, it's like he's saying it on stage. A lot of this is like he's saying it on stage. But I was trying to think of other actors who could play this. Like you said, I think Rick Mayall's a really good call, friends. I'm not sure. Like I said, like Brando is my go-to with a lot of things because he's just such a versatile actor. If you think Brando did On the Waterfront and Guys and Dolls, and also had the danger element of it to his acting. Some people could really ruin this. Yeah, anger management. Yeah, people were telling me it was great, and I was certain it wasn't. It wasn't. Funny People wasn't a bad film. It's just boring. which I guess is almost more unforgivable, I suppose. White Chicks, I've not seen White Chicks. I've got a video on Tracy from 30 Rock, his fake films, and like This Honky Grandma Be Tripping, and films like that. That feels like that would be similar to White Chicks. And there we are, back in the old bathroom. He does that. He literally does an Orlock. He's doing an Orlock. Yeah, this is my critical film commentary. He's doing an Orlock. The guy's doing a bloody Orlock. I've become one. A vampire. Vampire's kiss. Oh God, where am I? You're in the goddamn crapper now. Shut up and leave. Leave the goddamn acting like it. I'll go back to the ladies' room. He literally knows he's been. The guy knows that he's been in the ladies' room. The rumors are getting out. Punch Drunk Love is a good film. That's one of the. I'm sure it was one of the first. Not one of the first DVDs I owned, but one of the first DVDs I remember printing off Easter eggs for and finding extra deleted scenes and stuff like that. So where people were like, "Oh, Adam Sandler can act." I'm in a meeting. Oh man, this physical acting is incredible. He pulls the blinds down like zit. Very gentle. We've all had days at work like this. Not when we're vampires and we're harassing our colleagues over one lost file, but you know, you get the idea. I'll tell you what, one Adam Sandler thing that's really cool is when he's doing the he does an Eddie Vedder impression. That's so funny. Anyone who likes a bit of Pearl Jam will find that, or find them appreciate that, I think. She's still going through the files. God bless her. We're in, what are we into this film now? We're just over an hour, and she's still. This film is essentially about a woman's endless journey, mission to find some lost files, while an insane man debates whether he's a vampire or not. Not the best synopsis I've ever given, but that is fun. Computer monitor looks like, yeah, it should be thrown in the elevator shafts and I can tell you. Yeah, some of these you know, it wouldn't have the same impact somebody throws a tablet down a lift shaft or a phone, or you know, you've got a big CRT thing down there. A big BBC micro. I just never found the red one. So he's losing his mind here, obviously, because he's definitely not invited the taxi driver and his wife into his office to talk to them. Am I right? And she's in the same dress that she's in the picture, the wife. So it's reminding you that it's in his mind's eye. Look at the hair flopping down here over his face. He looks like he should be in My Chemical Romance. It's not too late. The file will not stop me being a bloodsucker. Too late. Too late. I wonder how tired he was after filming these. He's running. He's running. Stay away. Oh, straight into the water fountain and in the wall, into the toilet door, down the stairs. And away we go. Too late. Too late. Yes, it is. Yeah, to give a synopsis of it doesn't do it justice. No, I think that's pretty much what I was probably badly saying, is that every scene is a winner. Every scene is a winner. Every scene is like quotable and interesting and strange and unlike things you've seen before. And the story is incidental. Yes. He's definitely a bit emo looking. He's got especially that bit where he's got the almost like triangular bit of hair popping down. So she asks him not to what do they say? R her, not to R her. And he's like, I would do that. Oh, shoot. Now he wants her to shoot him, just because he's pretty sure he's a vampire and it won't make any difference. He wants to test this. You're fired. He fires her for not shooting him. And he pulls her dress open and he's mauling her. Now, he's not biting. We don't think he's biting, but then he looks up and it's not her. It's not Alva. He's back with his mistress. What is going on? Yeah, they're not as provocative. Everybody walks on his shells. I would say so. I mean, there are definitely films that take these risks. I just think what it is now, there's just so many films that films come and go so quickly that it's just harder to find them. So we just I'm talking for myself here. You may disagree, but like I find that sometimes there are films that are I know are absolutely incredible, but I just stay in my lane because the amount of choice, whether it's the different streaming, the different films, the different ways, like somebody could just make a film with a phone. Like there's so much going on, like that I just reject it all and stay in my own little lane sometimes. It's interesting when certain ones break through and you wonder how that happened, and everybody watches them, everyone talks about them for a certain amount of time, like Late Night with the Devil, for example. I don't think that's a great film, like as great as what people are saying, but I think it's a really good film. I don't think it's necessarily as provocative as this, but what makes this maybe provocative and what makes this interesting and stands the test of time for me is the unpredictability of it, and maybe what we've become too formulaic. So I guess there's that, and then from the studio side of things, there's maybe trying to cater to too many people, which makes it impossible to kind of have an individual clear voice. So that's tricky as well. Like Exorcist Believer would be a good example of something that's super boring with a couple of interesting scenes, but majority of it, 90% of it, is super boring because it tries to cater to everyone. Whereas this, I don't even know if they knew when they were making it who they were making it for. They were just making an awesome film with a load of passion. Yeah, I can't believe he actually put because if it was real blanks, I think that would have done him some serious damage. So I don't know what they used instead. Fake blanks. I don't know. But yeah, oof. Even those ones when you were a kid, cap guns or whatever. I knew kids who did stuff with them, and I was like, oh man, I'm not touching that. Yeah, it is. It is good. It is good. I maybe need to watch it again. It's just funny how certain ones come through, and you go, oh yeah, I don't know. I did a little video on it where I tried to work out why. I don't think it gives any spoilers to the film, so if you want to check it out, see what you think. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. There isn't a lot in the middle, is there? In the words of Alan Partridge, I just want something in the middle. The super high budget, your sort of your Marvel and what have you, has run its course, and yeah, and then the really dirt cheap one, people are not necessarily wanting to watch something that looks really hard to see what's going on or what have you, or is just like deliberately trashy. I don't know. I can't just I'm not sure. It's definitely tricky. There are definitely creatives and cool people who have great ideas. It's just, are they getting realized? I don't know. Because this feels very much like something you'd see at a theatre. And I think often a lot of the best directors of the 80s came from theatre or used theatre or had theatre aesthetic or understanding. Stuart Gordon being a brilliant example. So look at Suitable Flesh and then watch Reanimator, and you'll see that I think you'll see the difference in direction from somebody who is an incredible director who's learnt their skills in theatre compared to a director who's got all the same tools at their disposal but doesn't quite pull it off in the same way, doesn't use the space in the same way. Now, actually, the director of that film came back at me and was like, well, my mum liked it, which is fine. And I don't think it's a bad film, but I think it's just a good example. Directors kind of come from different places now, don't they? They literally go into it as film directors or study it or just self-taught. But I think if you learn your trade, either in cinematography or in theatre direction, it shows on the screen. So he's trying to avoid he's got the light shining through the window here, which is great. He's in his underpants. His hair is flopping down now to the point where it makes him look really like wimpy and kind of dorky. All pretenses are gone. And now he's out. He's going out. He's going out into the night. We're about an hour and 10 minutes into the film now. He's having a look through some teeth in like a kind of joke shop. Oh, that sure is a joke shop, more of a novelty shop. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess seeing things that are like Inside Number 9 is going to be on at the theatre and things like that. So yeah, from television and movies and things like that. Clive Barker's another good example of like a collective of people making creative things in a small theatre group and then that translated onto the stage. Maybe we just need to get back to the roots of it. There are definitely theatre groups. I know some around Liverpool and Manchester who are doing great things. Whether they'll get to those things to be in film, whether they want them to be on film, I don't know. But yeah, it does feel like it's going the other way as well. Like sort of things like Spam-A-Lot and big events, Back to the Future and things are going onto the stage. He's putting the old fake teeth in. I feel like I've had some of those. I feel like I've got some of those. So we're getting towards the last half an hour of the film now. And this is where things slow down a little bit before they really pick up and things get a little bit wild again. I love the fact he's kind of, we see him buy those teeth, so we know for a fact that it's not like a physical transformation in a way that maybe it is inside his mind. And even he knows that because he goes and buys these teeth. He's trying to talk to her through the teeth on the phone. And he wants to make an appointment with his psychiatrist. There's comedy in this. He's so good. Have you ever tried talking through those vampire teeth? I've got some of them somewhere. This year, me and Marcy, me and my dog, we both wore like the capes and the teeth, and I slicked my hair back, and we you know, when it was Halloween for all the trick or treaters, Marcy looked a lot cooler than I did. So his doctor has time for him on Monday. I don't think Peter's going to last. He's not going to last too long. There's a guy, psychiatrist is getting on with it seems like a younger man, and she's a bit busy. She's getting busy. I guess the girl in the club starts laughing because that's how you would react, and then it turns out like, yeah. There's like it's not afraid to kind of see itself, the things around him as a character, as ridiculous. And I think that's what makes this a really interesting film as well. Chasing the pigeon, the like, he's completely without fear in this film. He's completely without fear. I mean, I think he's like that in a lot of ways, in small parts anyway. But this is a film where he's like that all the way through. It's like Nicolas Cage's id. And we've got the feathers all around. Oh man, just thinking around this time last year, there was a massive outbreak of bird flu near where I lived, and I'd just moved to the seaside. And my dog was going crazy for all the dead birds everywhere. And she actually got hold of one. And what a palaver. It was already on its way out, but what a palaver. What a wild ride that was, because she's the softest dog ever. Now she thinks she's like, I don't know, some sort of amazing hunter now. Once you get a taste for it. So Peter, I'm warning you, my friend. Once you get a taste for it, I love how the sofa is his coffin. It's a thing as well because I think it was more of a status symbol then than it is now for yuppies to have leather sofas. So there's a little bit of a commentary there on vampires and people working in, these high-powered jobs in their suits being vampire like people and their behaviors, bloodsuckers. And I think the leather sofa is an interesting one for that. As the light comes up. It's interesting. There's 51 people in the cast list for this film, but we don't use a lot of them really. I mean, four, like I said, the brother, five. Yeah, there's a few. Obviously it's the Nick Cage show. But Alva plays a really good part in it. Yeah. Oh, I had a Jack. Funnily enough, friends, I had two Jack Russells. One of them, he was a beefy boy, like muscly, and the other one, he was a bit like that. He was wild and hairy and crazy. Yeah. Yes, some of these shots, and I particularly like the helicopter taking off, even though it bears no relevance to anything in the film. It's pretty cool. And then the sort of the orangey and the burning in the sky. Yeah. That's what I was just saying. Yeah. Great minds. Yeah, the one with the helicopter taking off was great. Feels like he's almost in Vietnam. Apocalypse Now stuff. He wakes up with his plastic teeth in. You could play Peter Lowe in for Valentine's Day. You could for Valentine's Day. For Halloween, you could wear an 80s suit or late 80s, early 90s suit, plastic teeth, slick your hair back, plaster on your neck. What a great costume. No one would know who you were being, and they just think you cut yourself shaving, but still, you'd know. They'd be like, hey, aren't you Jonathan Ross? Do you know what the scariest thing for me in this is? Like queuing up to get in nightclubs. The very, obviously I'm old now, so I don't queue up to go in nightclubs. I just walk straight to the. No. That whole thing, that whole shebang is frightful, scary, horrible. Nightclubs in general. I remember once I was dancing at a nightclub, trying to, because I'm like, I can't. We were there with a group of people, and I bobbing my head, and I just nutted somebody, just nutted this girl by accident. I was very apologetic. She was okay about it, but I did feel a bit silly. Bonfire the Vanities, yeah. I bet you that, yeah, I think everything in this is so skillfully done. I can't remember the exact budget, but yeah, again, you're getting a lot for your money in this film, I think. Nicholas Cage is now walking around with teeth, and I wish I could go and find my pattern with his eyebrows. He's literally like, this is what it would be like if Count Orlok was around in 1980s New York, just wandering around while people were dancing in a nightclub. So good. I really hope a lot of these people didn't know, and they just signed off afterwards. It's like, did you see Nicholas Cage walk past like with some teeth in there? Makes you wonder as well. Like was it Thriller video with that the dancing like that, or whether that came from Orlok as well. Obviously, they've not got there. Yeah, the music in this as well, the nightclub works really well. Synth music is always a good choice for me. I'm a bit of a sucker for that kind of stuff. yeah, I like the Dead Malls videos because of that. The music that Dan Bell chooses in the Dead Mall videos, I think, are really cool for that. I like Vaporwave and Synth and Drive and all those kind of things, really. Yeah. All those kind of things. Sounds like I'm going to say, the best of synth. No, I'm trying to think of different ones like Agent Orange and I don't just all that kind of. I just put on a playlist and I'm happy. Particularly with my Dead Malls. Yeah, it's got a bit of a Depeche Mode sound to it, hasn't it? Oh, no, slapping each other now. He keeps going for the neck. And the way people are dancing is like it seems to be getting more and more like wild as they go along. This reminds me a little bit of the Mike Flanagan. I stopped watching it. I just got a bit sick of it. But the House of Usher nightclub, and that because a lot of stuff will go on and people just won't pay any attention on anything because it's just so noisy and everyone's undulating and moving around. There's a woman there dressed like Madonna, like 80s Madonna. Yeah, and that's the thing as well. I think because some of the stuff looks quite like the fake teeth and what have you. Like you might think, oh, this is super low budget, but there's a lot of thought and time and craft gone into this film. But he's had a munch on her neck now, and instantly he's feeling a bit rough. Possibly because he's not a vampire. Maybe, who knows? I'm not sure which one. Rachel. So he's doing his impression of Ross from Friends here. We were on a break. Peter, you're so pathetic. He takes the teeth out. So it's not that he's a vampire, he's a wannabe vampire. He's even more pathetic. She spits right in his face.
You're with me. Don't touch me.
Yeah, she seemed like a nice girl. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't look like it. Does it, Donald?
Donald? I'm gonna invite Donald into this shebang.
It doesn't appear that way.
There's nobody good called Donald. This guy looks like Ryan Stiles. I love you. I mean, the thing is he a wannabe pretend vampire? But like, is the love and the attachment that he's got his mental illness, or is it because she literally has, sired him and made him a vampire, and now she's just pretending it's all not true and nonsense, and he's left. She's moved on to her next guy, her next victim. Or was that guy who was with her was Donald, her version of Renfield? Or is she his version of Renfield? You don't remember me? She's like literally has no idea who he is now. Let go of me, you fuck. She's a goddamn vampire, which she clearly isn't. Here we go. He's dropped the old C-bomb as well. You're breaking. Then he shouts, "You're breaking up with me," which I think is the best line. This is the funniest line. He says all that. And after I sucked that broad bone dry, she's a goddamn vampire. She made me want to look at her teeth. You're breaking up with me. Oh yeah. There's again, without just keep telling about all the videos, there's a really good Trash Theory video about the Pet Shop Boys, which I find fascinating. And I watched that recently. Please don't. And he starts running, and he's like cowering, and oh man, the running that he does in this film is amazing. Oh, fourth C bomb of the film. 5. The light comes out, and he's like, "No!" Now, I believe I don't know how true this is. Oh no, we did know it was a non-union film, so it does make sense that all the people that he runs past, his legs flailing, jumping, screaming, no, none of them knew that he was on his way around. None of them knew who he was. That must have been insane. Yeah. Oh man, he has got some, as they say, cojones. And I think as well, there's no denying that this would be a very different film if it wasn't Nicolas Cage. He brought a lot of this to it. He's a fan. He's a film fan. He knows his horror. He knows his Nosferatu. He knows what he wanted to do. These are his choices. Yes, he possibly got the okay with it, but the impression I get from the interviews I've seen is that the director has just gone, "Okay, Nick." So yeah, it's the Nicolas Cage film. I'd recommend this one, Gareth, for sure. There's definitely certain scenes and parts in it I think you would love. Yeah, 6 a.m. in the morning when there was not many people around. Yeah, okay, so yeah, that's good. That I'm not you. There's a lot of lows in the phone book, but I guess it's a big city. Warp genius. That's another good way of putting it. Is that Trans Am? No, guess we'll never know. And he's running around now. He's flailing his hands. He's kicking things pretty weakly. He's like very weak. He's got a bit of wood, like a steak, I guess. No spoilers. And he's trying to stake himself. He should stake himself, mate. Excuse me. Would you stake me? My girlfriend broke up with me. I'm a vampire. Kill me. Yeah, sure. Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. It is a Trans Am. It's essentially Knight Rider. Michael, you are not a vampire. Night Roger. That's the adult version. The crucifix. Me vampire. You idiot. Nosferatu. First call out to Nos. Bells are ringing. He's got the blood all over him. He's got the white shirt, the red tie, the blood down him. If he took that jacket off, he'd look like Shaun of the Dead. So this Trans Am is speeding its way. I'd love to drive one of those. Got a video of me driving a very cool film-based or television-based car coming on the channel soon. And hopefully you guys will appreciate that. And now he's moaning and dragging his stake, walking along. Also a bit of a Reservoir Dogs, Tim Roth kind of look to him here at the end of the film. Oh, yeah, they got hit by a Subaru, which is a way many vampires have met their end. Disco death, and now this is where things get real because the New York Post has got girl victim in the nightclub. However, I don't think you'd have the death scene photo on the front of the newspaper with like her neck split open and like click click. I don't think your family like. I've never seen it like man lost his head today, and there's like a picture of just like a torso with no head and a big question mark. Like I don't think they would do that in the front page of newspapers. Yeah, street reactions, people are laughing, and again, I think that works with the film because it is ridiculous. But then, yeah, it is. Fuck you, I'm dying over here. I think there's some amazing lines, and certainly when he's in the nightclub and he's like, "You're breaking up with me." He's one of my favorites. So what's up, Peter? He's still got his steak. He's tied his tie up. I think your profession is, and then this is where he just takes down psychiatry. He doesn't need her. He's handling this very well. Yeah.
What exactly did you have in mind for yourself?
Do you know what it keeps doing when I'm watching this? Is maybe the Prime version. It's very clear where it cuts from a longer scene to a shorter scene. So like she asks him something, it kind of like undulates black and then comes back, and then he carries on saying what he's saying. So he's not actually, and now we've cut there. He's not actually having that conversation. He's still outside, hair a mess, blood all over his shirt. He thinks he's having a conversation with the psychiatrist, but he's just talking off. We can't see who he's talking to. He's not talking to anyone. I don't think he's just talking to himself. But in his head, he's got his hair slicked back. He's talking very well. He's putting down the psychiatrist. He's explaining himself. And just kind of talking about, I guess finding happiness and how difficult it is to find happiness. And in his mind's eye, she's laughing at him. Ooh. Adaptation is good. I think Leaving Las Vegas, he's very good in Leaving Las Vegas. Oh man, I'd have to really have a think about that.
If you had told me, if you had just told the good doctor the time you could have saved.
Oh man, that's a tough one.
Could have saved.
I'll have to come back to you on that one. I've only seen half of Mandy, but I thought it was good from what I saw. Sharon. Oh, so this is it, where in his mind's eye, the psychiatrist is going to partner him up and pair him up with a woman who's perfect for him, and a woman will answer all his problems. She's like, you're made for each other. They're not allowed to do that. But obviously this is his fancy. Oh man, this is the happy ending he's created for himself in his mind. He's still got his steak. The only thing that's real that he's still holding on to is his steak. And he meets Sharon. Guys, if you want to put in the comments your top 5. Oh man, I'm trying to think how much of a part he had in The Outsider. I like Outsiders. Mandy, I've only seen half of. Can't really use that. Leaving Las Vegas, I think, is excellent. So this is where he's meeting Mandy, who likes poetry and horseback riding. Vivaldi and long weekends in the country. Those are exactly the same thing. I like Charlie Kaufman too. I've not seen the last thing that he did on Netflix. That maybe was a jump too far for me, but yeah, I like Charlie Kaufman. Raising Arizona, good call. I knew there was one in my mind. Yeah, that's a great performance. That would be in my top 5. I've not got an order at the moment. Fantastic. So he's absolutely horrible and odious. He's sliming all over the shop, and then in his mind's eye, he's slick and cool and got this beautiful woman. And then he's like, I did awesome one the night before, a woman in the office. I just lost control. And it's like, oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Like, that joke, I think, would be difficult if it was going to be like a studio movie these days. But the joke is obviously in his mind, he is rationalizing, he's getting the psychiatrist to rationalize everything that he's done. So we're actually unpicking and finding out the real things he has done. So he did attack Alba. He did attack the woman in the nightclub. He is in absolute bits, but in his mind's eye, he's piecing those things together and he's giving himself the happy ending. Good to see you, Mr. Lacard. By the way, Al Lacard has got a brilliant Dario Argento mini documentary out at the moment. So go and check that out. Also, I don't know if I mentioned earlier, probably didn't, I should have done. Video Tasties has got a fantastic, well, a string of Star Wars things at the moment, but there was a really cool Phantom Menace video with all these different copies of Phantom Menace that I really enjoyed. And Franz, I see his comments all the time because we seem to go to the same pages, certainly on to the foot of our stairs. I saw his comments, which was really funny. I think it's called something else now, but yeah, it used to be called the foot of our stairs. So now Peter is walking down the road, chatting up this lady. She's not real. She's in his brain. We keep cutting back and forth. He's giving his life story, still carrying his stake, walking down the road, walking down the avenue. He's in love with this imaginary Susan. And people are giving him a bit of a second look, as we said earlier on, as he's walking along. So now he's explaining to Susan what the stake is. I turned into a vampire last week, which I just think is so funny. Cage and Argento. What a combo. That would be cool. Raising Arizona. Wild at Heart again. The Rock. Massive, the Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I was really hoping that was going to be amazing, but it wasn't as good as I thought it'd be. Had some good bits in it, but yeah, he's good in it. He's good in most things. He's always good, even if it's a bad film. Hey, Bob McCall, how you doing? Good to see you. That's all right, Gareth. That's okay. Gareth and Al resuming acquaintances and are saying hello to everyone. Now, the apartment is in a bit of a state, I'll be honest. You can see why they couldn't film this over and over again. Why couldn't you be normal? Peter, does this mean we can never have children? So he's having like a proper, like, he can't even follow through on his fantasies. Like, he can't even in his fantasies make everything work. The guy's having a complete. Now, this is where Alba's brother is here, smashes his way in. He's got his tire iron. Oh, and he's losing it. He's just shouting and bawling now, wandering around. This is a tour de force. Like, the amount of energy expended. Not that makes it a good film just because he puts energy into it, but it's just so creative, so clever, and so unique. You will never see a film like Vampire's Kiss. Vampire's Kiss. Yeah, it is. There's some fun stuff. I like Mando. He's a good guy. But no, I think there's some fun bits in there. They actually have a good. I'd like to see them both in something together again. I think I should see a shrink. I can't handle these relationships. And as the light hits him, he's going back under his coffin, his sofa coffin. Here comes Alba's brother with a tire iron. And here he comes. He's like, get up. So he tries to get his stake to stake himself. Go stake yourself. And Alba's brother helps him out. I mean, to be fair, he has been, couldn't have been so nice a guy. He has been begging for this, literally. Been begging for this for around 40 minutes. Do you reckon, guys, okay, anatomy people who are watching this along, do you think that actually got his heart? I think that was actually right there, right in the right spot. Peter. Alas, Peter, we barely knew ye. As I butcher different quotes from funerals. Yeah, it is good. It is a good channel. I do enjoy it. I enjoy his alternative pronunciations of things too, just to wind people up. The light comes in. This kind of does mirror Nosferatu, this last scene, except this part. Dream of me, my angel. Was she a vampire? Doesn't answer all the questions, but it asks loads. And I think that possibly is one of the things that makes it a great movie. And what's the film that Amazon Prime is suggesting I watch next, straight after Vampire's Kiss? Biodome, of course. Of course, Pauly Shore. Pauly Shore is the actor that Nicolas Cage wishes he would ever be. He wants to be the Weasel. Yeah, that last shot of Beals, Jeff Beals is very good, and it asks questions and it ends and it ties everything up nicely. It is a good one. It is good. Bob's mentioning Moonstruck. Yeah, of course. Again, I think sometimes, obviously, he's been around a long while. A real diverse range of films. Obviously, some when he spent all his money and then just did any films, it's harder to kind of pick out the good ones, bad ones. It's just so many. But he's never bad. I will argue that he's never bad. It's very rare that you have an actor who tries to give a good performance regardless of the material. He focuses on what he can do, and I think that's pretty cool, guys. If you haven't seen my description, if you haven't seen the 3-hour In Defense of Nicolas Cage documentary in praise of shadows, who went on to have, I think, a Netflix series talking about film, it is amazing. Even if you just skip and watch the Vampire's Kiss part, it will explain a lot about what we've just watched. Yeah, I don't mind the wheeze. I don't mind Pauly Shore, but I feel like he's got a good dramatic performance in him somewhere. I feel like I'm waiting for Tarantino to give him a part in something. Birdie, yeah. Matthew Modine is underrated as well. Like in Full Metal Jacket and stuff. There's a sensitivity to Modine's acting. Great Peter Gabriel soundtrack too. Yes. Right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, and vampires of all ages, I want you to go and practice your best A, B, C, D, E impression and record it. And I'll tell you who the winner of the best Nicolas Cage impression competition winner 2024 is. Thank you so much for joining me during this little impromptu stream. Check out those videos that I mentioned earlier, the one in the description. I've got no skin in the game in terms of that video. I just think it's a really good one, so I put it in there. And it helped me get an even better appreciation of this film. When I did my Nosferatu screening, which there are links to some of the clips from it in here, and I did my talk, I implored people to go and watch this film as well. Not just because there's clips of it in there, but there's acting stylistic choices that are linked to this. There's thematic links to this. There are actual clips from the film in it. It's really worth checking out Nosferatu, watching this. And I think one thing that came out of this stream, thanks to Franz as well for that, is talking very much about the links to films like American Psycho and that kind of 80s, early 90s yuppie culture. Some of the choices in that film very similar to this as well. So I appreciate you joining me. Don't worry, Bob. I know you just said it's the shortest watch party ever. You've got the record of Usain Bolt of watch parties. It was really, really cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's good. I think there are lots of people. Hopefully, guys, if you're watching this and you've not seen the film, go watch it, come back, then listen to our discussion that we've done here, and let us know what you think. If you hate it, tell me you hate it. If you hate it, but as long as you tell me why, I'm really interested in knowing why. Not just it's crap. That doesn't tell me anything. But I'm interested in why you like it, why you don't like it. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you to everyone who's watching on various different days, times, years, hopefully. And it is for me. It's a great film. It's like a 9 out of 10, and I think Nate said earlier on for him it was like a 10 out of 10. So for a few people, it is a really great film. Have a great rest of your evening. And I know the Mike Fifth Beatles got a stream tonight, so check that one out. Jeff 101 Bronson's got a stream tonight. check that out. I think Gareth's involved in both or one or of those, so that'd be cool as well. Like I say, check out Al's video of mini documentary, which are always excellent, of one of my favorite, Dario Argento. I've also got a video on Dario Argento that I did with JT on the channel, so if you want to have a look at that. But yeah, have a absolute what the IMDb rating, or the 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. Yeah, I think for me it's a 9. It's a 9. I love this film. Right, everybody, have a wonderful rest of your weekend and a great week tomorrow. Hopefully I'll see you during the week. Friday, I'm doing a stream watching SpongeBob movie with Animator on SpongeBob and also on Patrick Star Show. Jen Gleason, we're discussing the film. We're watching the film together, and we're going to watch some short animated films from public domain and discuss those as well. So I'd love for you to join us. All right, guys, have a wonderful evening. I've said that 12 times, so you'd better had. All right, take care. Bye-bye.